Are we still off air?
No, we're live.
Are we off air? On air? Oh, no, we're live. Okay, hi. Good evening and welcome to the IBD Ostomy Support show. We are back after a short break. So I'm Louise, aka Crohn's Fighting. Where to start? Okay, so the was purely because somebody decided to stop themselves between Charing Cross and so I had no chance to get on the show. I had an appointment, Crohn's, top of everything else, so yay. Crohn's is active on my surgery list, waiting for the rest of my body butt surgery to be carried out, along with possibly a full hysterectomy and a urostomy if they can't get these stuff that is sticking to places off the scar tissue. And I'm in a full Crohn's flare at the moment, so yay. I've been to Dublin, did scissors and all your stoma kit with no letters through security. Okay, admittedly they pulled. I got it all through, no problems, no questions asked, and I managed to get it back through the other side from Dublin as well. So those little plastic bags where they tell you you're only allowed to have one, I managed to get 5 of those through security on the plane with all the stoma kit, and they didn't bat an eyelid. So happy days. It's just been busy with work, gym, life in general, and yeah, that's about it really. So I think there's much else to report. Tonight we are covering life after stoma surgery, and after a barrier rings thing, I've had several people come and ask about how to put them on and what to use and everything else. So we'll be covering barrier rings as well. I'm not too sure where Natalie is. I think she is joining us this evening, so she'll pop up when she pops up, and I'll pass you over to Steffi.
Hi, I'm Steffi, colitis to ostomy. What's been going on with me? I was in Paris this weekend. My Purple Wings charity grant was a £200 hotel voucher, and we used it obviously in Paris. We were quite pretentious and did an artisan coffee tasting, which I only did for Steve because he really likes coffee. In fact, the minute we touched down in England, he bought himself a coffee grinder and a coffee press so he can have the proper French feel to it. Yeah, it was lovely. It was really nice just to have that time away. The whole reason I got my grant was because I had a miscarriage 2 months after my surgery and then got pregnant 2 months after that, and didn't really have time as a couple to adjust. Now we were fine, and we are fine, but it was just nice to have that time. I had no issues going through security on either end with my stoma or my stoma products. I think it's just a luck of the draw to whether you get a jerk or not, really, on security. But I've been spending a lot more time in the pub. Some of my one of my neighbours has just moved back from Holland. Another one and his brother's just moved back from South Yorkshire. So I spend a lot more time with them now, which is good because they were like the first people I made friends with here when I moved here 4 years ago. So, and in fact, the second it hits like 9 o'clock, I'm gone. I'm going to the pub. So that's pretty much it. Hi. I'm going to pass you over to Natalie.
I've just arrived. I was putting washing in and didn't realise the time, and then I was making myself some peppermint tea because I'm really, really bloated. Hi, I'm Natalie, the Spoonie Mummy. I have had a busy couple of weeks. Last week I wasn't on. I know everybody didn't end up on for different reasons, but it was actually my birthday, so that's why I wasn't on. So I had a really good day. I had some friends come to stay. We went out. We had Prosecco breakfast, which was lovely. Spent the afternoon in the garden because it was so hot. We were just drinking and chilling, and then we went out. My family came out as well, and we just had a drink. So that was really good. think what else has been going on.
Our Stoma's turned 2.
They did. And
I didn't post about mine.
Of course, it's a joint birthday, isn't it?
It is set exactly the same day. But yeah, the Stoma turned 2. Celebrated in usual style by leaking on Saturday. So I'm pretty sure he did the same last year. Oh, what else have we been up to? I got a call today, an exciting call. I'm going to be doing some more work with salts for the Confidence B bags. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also become a blogger for Talk Health, which my first post should be going up very soon. I've not quite finished it, but hopefully that will be sort of within the week.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
What else have I been up to? Don't know. Been running around here, there, and everywhere, it seems. But been up to see my grandma quite a bit. She's quite ill. I've just sort of started talking about it a bit on social media. She's basically end of life care. It's been very poorly. She was sent home from hospital in October with days to live, and she's still here because she's a fighter and she's amazing. But she has sort of declined quite a bit in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So I've been spending quite a lot of time up there. It can be quite hard. She's quite forgetful now because of the medication and things that she's on and what's going on with her body. She's a bit sort of confused. The other day I was there and she was obviously in pain when the carers were moving her, which was really hard to see, but I couldn't thank the carers enough. Some of the carers my grandma got have just like become family friends. The girls were amazing. And but that's just sort of taken a lot out of me at the minute. Yeah, that was a bit of a bum note, wasn't it, to end on? But we're getting there. She's doing okay. She's done well, and I'm super proud of her. So, who's not talked yet?
Rachel and Steve.
I'll pass you over to Rachel.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's Rachel, aka Rockin' Two Stomas, and I've got Steffi's face just smiling at me. Oh, now it's Natalie's. Hi to everybody that's watching, and is Chris says, Steve, that on a private message said that he likes your moustache. And Chris is the founder of Two Bags No Butt, and he's just started his new blog. Hi. And he's a double bagger, had pelvic extenuation, so I'm very excited. Another man kind of doing the double bagger side. And I know Kim, wishing Kim well, because Kim's in hospital. She had a prolapse surgery and it's had another infection. Graham has had his appointment today. And sending you love with that. And I can't remember other people I meant to mention. But yeah, that's my shout outs for tonight, I think. And Paulette, is it Paulette? Let me get it up.
It is Paulette.
Yeah, Paulette, and anybody else that is watching. So
I just do one quickly because I forgot I meant to add. A big shout out to Lisa. Lisa Cummins is in hospital at the moment. Hopefully she's coming home soon. But she's been really poorly again. So I just want to say get well soon.
Oh, that's nice. So what have I been up to? April's been absolutely
haven't you been up to?
I know, that's probably a better question. April's been mental, and I haven't been very savvy with kind of booking too many things together and not saying no when I should have, but generally it's been really good. And I'm back in Bournemouth now, so we spent last weekend in Copenhagen at the Ostomy Days, which was fantastic, and it was great to do that with Steve, and that was just really exciting. And then I had a UA event Tuesday in Swansea, and then I've come back today, and we're going back to Copenhagen next Thursday for another event in the headquarters. So busy. So after May, I think I'm going to stay still in Bournemouth. I've got 2 things going on, but that can be daytime, and then I'm staying still. I need to ground myself. I feel quite like I haven't really got home the last 5 months. I think I haven't spent more than 2 weeks in Bournemouth. So, but I'm already excited and it's really good. I just need to find some time to start doing. There's a lot of writing I need to do, so I just need to stay back home.
Rach, think when you travelled for the PW thing, that was the first time you travelled on your own that far, like nearly a year ago. And in the last year, you have been everywhere.
Honestly, it's insane. It all started by going to that ball, and I just like to. If anybody fancies, like, I think, are we all going to be there this time?
Yeah,
we are. Yeah.
So if it fancy coming to the ball on the 11th of August, which is now expanding to all osteomates, that'd be great to have you, because I think it's such a good night, and it's really, for me, that's where I've got my wings, because I didn't leave Bournemouth for 5 years. I was too scared to leave with all my sepsis and complications, and now I've been travelled 3 times. Well, my 3rd time next week abroad this year, and I think it's helped. It's definitely pushed me, the push I needed, I think. And seeing other people just getting on with it and having a laugh and getting drunk, and it's a good
getting
event.
Drunk. You don't drink, woman.
Yeah, but I get drunk off everybody else's drunkenness.
You know what she does? She does. You'd think she was drinking the way she was dancing on a Saturday night. Oh, bless. No, I tell you what, amazing.
Yeah, so
I have to say just that I'm going to be channeling Rachel as much as I possibly can on Tuesday next week. I'm gonna need her like spirit, like in there in spirit, because it's not public speaking, which Rachel absolutely kills, and I get people tweeting me going, "Oh my God, I've met Rachel. She's such a good public speaker." And she is, I know. And I'm doing a radio show on exercise with an ostomy with Sarah Russell, who created the exercise with the Stoma Complex. And I believe she did the Coloplast Carfar as well. So I'm really excited, because she's going to be she's doing it at BBC Tunbridge Wells, which I'm pretty sure is Louise's way.
It is my way, yeah.
If I could suggest one thing, Steffi, it's just be yourself, girl. That's it. That's all people want to see, and you can't fail. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm just going to channel Rachel, because Rachel just doesn't give a crap.
I think you need to channel Steve. Steve absolutely last weekend absolutely smashed it. I was sat in there, this massive smile, going, "Oh!" He mentioned to everybody that he needed to mention, like the show and the chat and everything. But Steffi, you'll smash it, and I think it's really good, because like we're all. I think what advocating has brought to me and to everybody is a community, but also the supporting of each other. And I think one of us doing something is like, really, it's like we're all doing it, because it's just raising that awareness more.
Well, everyone's doing something, isn't they? I could point at every single one of you, and you've all got something in the pipeline, which is amazing. You know, and that weren't at the start when I first joined this team, because it is a team.
We are a team.
And everyone's advocating something, and we're all doing different bits and bobs, but you know what I mean? We'll come together, and it's really nice. You know, well done, everyone.
Thanks, lovely.
Anyway.
On to the start.
AKA Baghdadi. I ain't really done much this week, to be fair. Apart from Copenhagen. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Bit surreal. When I say bit surreal, unbelievable. I come back home and then Rachel, I was with Rachel for like 1 day, and then Rachel's gone, and I feel lost. I can't motivate myself. Now today it's been a really emotional day for me. I've my cousin, who I got in touch with like a couple of years ago, she's been sort of sorting out my dad's stuff, my dad's house, all his business and that. And now she's been good as gold. I've met my aunts, I've met my cousin. They're lovely. And today I actually visited my childhood home and took some stuff of my dad's that he'd asked me to have. So it was kind of like I hadn't visited there in like, say, 39 years. It was a very, very emotional day. I burst into tears as soon as I walked in my bedroom. But it was all good. It was like healing for me. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of stuff going on and that. But,
you're very good when it comes to closure. Like you fully embrace closure when it's given to you. And
I've had to, Steffi. It's to be honest, I buried stuff for years. I mean, years, sort of 20 odd years, and you can bury it, but it's never hidden forever. It comes up. You know, the last sort of 2 years that I spent living on my own, I've found myself really upset, and yet I was happy about living on my own, happy about being a single man up until I met Rachel, and happy with my life. But things have come up that needed to be dealt with. It's kind of like your brain says, right, you're ready for this now. Remember this, and stuff's come up, and I've dealt with it, and I suppose it's like you know, well, it's like, I don't know what's the word I'm after.
I think closure gives you a bit of finality about it, doesn't it?
It is. You have to. I think you have to cry them tears to get rid of it. Now I can think about stuff and that, and it doesn't upset me no more. The house today, that was like the final piece to the puzzle. I've got a big box of photographs of my family, you know, that I've never seen. Now that's going to be quite a roller coaster looking through them, I'll tell you. But you know, it's good. It's good.
And you had there's a big gap that you don't know about, and I think it was like going back to the home was like.
Yeah, it was hard, you know. Just as soon as I walked in the door, my cousin knew exactly how I felt. She gave me a massive hug, and I was in bits. And I thought, right, I've got to go upstairs, and I've just got to go straight to my room. And it sort of blew my mind. It was really hard, but it was nice. I felt, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I can draw a line under that now. But it's nice. And apart from that, I ain't really done much more. I've done no training this week at all. I've had a week off work, which is a good job because our flights were cancelled on Sunday, so we come back Monday. Instead.
I know. I messaged Rachel for Sunday night and said, "Oh, how was your flight back?" She said, "We're still in Copenhagen."
Oh no!
It's a good thing. It's a beautiful place.
And I've been asked to do a talk in for the German investors for Coloplast. He hasn't secured anything yet, but he leant down and shook my hand because he's about.
They're really tall.
He was about 12 foot tall. He was huge. And so, yeah, it's madness. It's madness, you know. But
you've worked hard for it, lovely. There's no madness about it.
But you know, the kind of nerves. I was really nervous at the Purple Wings doing that talk there. That was the kind of first time I'd ever talked in front of people. I mean, obviously we're doing it in front of the camera here, but you know, they're not really real people, are they? We don't see them.
They're all make believe.
No, we've just got boxes around our heads, Steve. Remember?
Do you know what? Steve got on stage on Friday, right? And it was the start of, and it was talking about concave, the start of it. And he got on stage with like 900 people, and he went, wow, because it was just all these heads.
There was loads of them, and it was ridiculous.
Would you imagine them with the cardboard box around, Steve? Was just the square?
No, you know what? Nah, you just go into auto mode, don't you? You know, like talking on here. You know, if you say something stupid, I don't mind making myself look an idiot. It doesn't bother me at all.
Steve, I get scared every time. I just don't put my glasses on because that way I can't see. I'm blind without them.
But it's mad. We're getting people coming up to us in the street.
I know.
In Copenhagen, like I had this group of Italian ladies asking for a selfie, and that it's madness. Yeah, and people at the cafe going, "Oh, who's he?" Not in the real world, you know what I mean? This is all like pretend. I'm gonna wake up and it'll all have been a dream. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's me. That's my week. So onto the subject in hand for tonight.
Well, what shall we do? Life after Stoma first, or barrier rings?
We'll do the barrier rings, since I'm pretty much just sat mushing mine between my fingers.
So, obviously, the IBD Ostomy Support show as a whole, all of us as bloggers, we always have things go up. So things that we've reviewed, things we used, things we've tried. So obviously, Steve with the concave bag for the parastomal hernias. Obviously, Rachel does hers with the urostomy and both the prolapse. Then you've got Nat, who does bits and pieces with salts and obviously the confidence bags. Nat, you use seals, don't you? But you tend to use the sheets, don't you, rather than the barrier rings?
I used to. I don't use them anymore with the Confidence B now. I still have them just in case, but I don't need to use them anymore. So.
And Steffi, you use barrier ring also.
When I did use, sorry, it was the sheets when I did use them though. Yeah.
Yeah. And Steffi, do you use barrier rings?
Wedges. Yeah.
You use the wedges. Okay. I did. I think all of us have done posts at some point or another, but Paulette was saying I recommended the Econseals the other week, and Paulette said it's the first time she used them swimming. It's cleared up the soreness around her stoma site. It's completely gone, and she managed swimming just fine. She said they're amazing. Now, I spoke to somebody last week, because when I met Steve, when me and Rachel and everybody were up at, and Steve were up at
Cardiff.
The Purple Wings Catwalk. I messaged you guys about a few days beforehand, and I said that I was really sore, and Rachel knew I used the Slims, and Steve had a rather big stash of them because he no longer uses them. So they was passing me contraband onto the table. Now, I use the Slims, so I use those ones. Now, does anybody find that they need a master's degree in how to put these on?
You know what? When I used to use them, I used to use them all the time before this bag. And I found out that the best way for me was just cut my bag, stick them directly to my bag. I had a nightmare trying to put it to my skin because my skin was like still moist. Even after I dried it, I was pushing it down with scissors, and I couldn't get it close enough to my stoma. So I just stuck it to the bag, and I never had a trouble after that. That was when I needed them, and I found they were brilliant.
The big question is skin or bag? Skin or bag? Because I do it skin, see, and Steve always used to do it bag.
You see,
I
do it.
Stoma nurses recommended doing it to your bag.
Do they? I think with mine, because of the prolapse, because it comes out. I don't know if I do it because I'm fiddling to get it in, so I put it on. But actually, it'd make more sense if it was a bag. But I've just always done it the skin. But I'm trying to change it now because I don't know if that's.
I think you should give it a try, because then you can judge then, can't you, for yourself?
And see what works best, can't you?
What about in the chat? Skin or bag?
I put them I put them directly onto the skin. The reason being is because my stoma goes in and out. If I stick it to the bag and I've cut the bag size wrong, then the ring's is pretty much moot putting it on, because it's still going to get round the bit that I've missed with the ring. So that's why I put it straight around and make sure it's as close to the ileostomy as possible, and then I put the bag on. But I have to tear it. I can't sit there and mould it and shape it to the size that my stoma is, because it's like I don't know, it's like blowing a house through a straw for me. I can't do it, and they stick.
Don't you find it loses its sticky the more that you mould it?
I don't mould it that much. I literally I tear it, I stretch a little bit for where mine is weird, and then I just wrap it round. I don't do all that and everything else. If that makes any sense.
I've never torn one of mine ever, and I can't get away with a paste. I haven't got a freaking clue how to get that paste to actually stay stuck. It just comes back away.
I used to sort of stretch it out like that, put it on my stoma, and then find out it's too big, and then have to cut it and then fold it over. And I just found it a right faff about, so that's why I put it on my bag, and I put it slightly about 2 or 3 mil inside the bag, so that, do you know what I mean? Like, there's my aperture of my bag. I'd make sure that it lipped under, and then I put my bag on straight away, and I never had a leak with the older ones. I don't need it now. So,
do you find though that the adhesive for removing those comes off quite easily though as well? Because some of it sticks like, and I'm sorry for anybody that is watching, but some of the adhesive from the barrier ring sticks like shit to a blanket.
It is. It's like chewing gum. That's why, you know, like you did the video with 2 sprays to get off your bag. Yeah, absolutely. But then I need about 4 sprays to get the chewing gum from around my stoma, because obviously, you know, I have hairs on my stomach.
It won't work for everybody though, will it? Because I'm lucky, I've got quite a soft base plate, and that's not too gooey with the adhesive, whereas some of the other bags, the adhesive on them is a lot stronger, and they're designed to stay put like that. So I think somebody said to me the other day about an unintentional waxing.
Did you do the dastardly and Muttley noise then, did you? Oh my God.
I've got an interesting question after Steve got told off on stage on Saturday when he changed his bag, because he's been told. So this is for the guys. So who shaves their stoma area? Because Steve got told off in front of all the nurses because he doesn't shave that area, and he's supposed to. And I wondered who actually does shave. It's sort of on topic.
I found that the hairs kind of stopped growing there through like I don't know, like evolution, having a bag. But there's still some there. But you know, it's not an issue for me, and I will not change.
Yeah, Steve's the same. There's not a lot of hair there anyway, but he doesn't shave the area.
It was funny.
Pointless, isn't it?
Terry was getting us to suggest how often to do it, and then afterwards I said he won't do it. I said you could tell that on stage that Steve wasn't going to do it, but it was quite funny.
There's quite a few men saying that they do shave around their stoma area.
Yeah, I know there is.
Oh, Ash. Oh, Chris shaves. Oh, Steve, you're in the minority. Graham.
Good. Directly after my surgery, right? I remember, you know, because of my big scar, the surgeon shaved a big line down my stomach at an angle, and it looked like I'd been driven over by a tractor. It was ridiculous, and it took months to grow back. I thought, no, never again, I'm leaving it.
What they said is the reason why you're supposed to shave is because you can get folliculitis underneath the bag if you got hairs, which I never realised that was why. I thought it was to do with like not pulling it off, but that's why they suggested it. But I know you won't do it.
Get like ingrown hairs and also because it's like waxing, isn't it? Every time you pull your bag off, you're gonna.
I'm a real man. I don't shave my stomach.
Can I just repeat what Brian's just sent me? He said this evening his question tonight is about the father rings. Does anyone else have problems cleaning the adhesive remover off? Even using the removers, it's still hard to come off. He gets waxed every day the way his mum just ripped the bloody thing off.
I use, because the bag, the Confidence B, I find leaves a little residue. I use the salt spray to get the bag off, and then I'll just clean sort of my stoma off briefly with a wipe. And then I use, it's actually the Trio ones, just because I got sent them as a sample and they work, so I've stuck with them. But it's the removal wipes. I can't remove bags with them. I don't know how people do that, but I just then use that all around it, and it gets rid of all the sort of excess stickiness really easily. But then I have to make sure I wipe properly with a normal wipe afterwards to get all the adhesive remover residue off, because obviously otherwise your new bag won't stick.
Yeah.
Right. Just a quick one. I've got to go. I'll see you guys later.
I'll see you later, lovely. And have fun next week. We'll see you later. Bye, Steve.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. I've just had an email from Elaine. She's just said that she's glad we're all back on. She's missed us all. It's lovely to watch support when she feels like poo. It's a great pickup to watch the show and know people around her understand. And she says love to you all. So, hi, Elaine.
Hi, Elaine. Steffi, you know you said that you used the wedges instead of the rings at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I saw them on Tuesday. They're pretty cool. I should have taken samples and I didn't, but they
are really good. I've got some here. So you they're just little triangles, and they have like sticky back either side. These are my old samples, so it doesn't really matter. And a bit of blatant advertising here for Richard and IBD.
Hi, Richard.
To be my bag right here. Right? So I'm using my badge as my stoma. And you literally just stick it around like that. So wherever you have your dips, your creases, you can literally just maneuver it to wherever you need. So I use 3 because I have, since having Jacob, my stomach's just flabby, and most mums will understand that to some extent. Let alone having and most people that just have a stoma and just decided I'm going to go and eat whatever the hell I want because I can after surgery.
Yes.
You know, because that's what Nat did. Nat was like, I can eat everything. I'm going to eat what I want. So basically, this is what I would do for mine. You don't even need to use a full ring. It's great. And I use the Iliomate bags now, and I can't say anything more highly than the fact that it lasted. The last one, 6 days with no base plate or skin erosion. I did have, because I knew that I'd had like 4 leaks from ridiculous pancaking with my Danzat bags that morning, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to stick my tape extenders on. So other than that, I had tape extenders on and nothing else, and like it lasted 2 baths, 2 showers, 2
What
flights,
bag's that?
34. The Peak Medical Iliomate. And now I use one that has the aperture's oval, and it works with these like barrier rings, but it's an eye, obviously. And all I do for these, because the base plate, the convex part of the base plate's oval as well, which is pretty fantastic. I love it. It's the only one I've ever seen that's like that. All I do with this one, for me, because mine's oval, is that I literally just pull it a tiny bit and it's bang on.
That's brilliant.
Like,
Oh, wow.
I think I don't do the tearing or moulding. I literally just pull it, put it on.
Does it spring back a little bit?
Not really. Well, yeah, no, it does. It does. It's pretty good, actually. I like them anyway. They're definitely. I always liked the Clinimed Manuka honey ones. Like, I still use their tape extenders and stuff, even though they kind of break up and as they dry out around the edge, and that just drives me nuts. But it wasn't too bad. It again lasted me the 6 days, which it's never done before. But I don't know. I just think they're great.
I don't know. I think. Oh, sorry.
The wedges are great if you have dips and creases. Not even kidding. Like I have a retracted stoma, so mine's like flush with the skin, and then I have a dip, and then I have a crease and things that I didn't have when I got my stoma, because I was like a stone lighter than I am now. But I was ill lighter, not like healthy lighter. So they're just amazing. I honestly urge anyone, if you have dips and creases, just to try them, because you can get wider ones, you can get and like I use the smaller ones, but it's worth it if you have dips and creases. I mean, I honestly think if you need a barrier ring of any form, there is one out there for you. It doesn't matter if you have to try them all, there's one out there for you. That's what I think anyway.
And I think that's key, is what Steffi just said about trying them and sampling what works for you. So I now use the Coloplast protective seal with the concave bag, because I have, although my stoma is prolapsed, when it's in at night, it retracts flush. So I need that extra bit of convex and they've also, Coloplast do these extra extenders that go with the concave bag. So I use that as well. And it's find what works for you. I kind of use samples for adhesive remover and things like that, and just find what works, and I think find one, and then when you stick with it, then if you start getting skin reactions, then try another one. I think as long as you are mindful of how many samples you after you find the one that works, then you like pick which one and then you get it, as long as you don't overorder more. I think it's fine what's work, because what more work, like I know that the Mio doesn't work for Louise, Steffi, or Nat, for either of you, does it?
It slides off me.
So yeah, some people react differently to others, and we're all individual. Not one size fits all. Like we're all different, and I think
it does prove that, because we all use different products.
Exactly,
and they all work really well for ourselves, and it just shows you we're just 5 sort of randomly picked ostomates that came together, and yet we all have such different experiences.
I think by doing this, though, other people would have realised that, the amount of stuff that they can now do, and they can request and they can change. I think it's opened it up for them, because there's a lot of people that know, and there's a lot of people that don't.
So many people just get what the hospital give them, and that's what they think they're stuck with. And very often that doesn't work for you.
And regarding the pouches, what's really interesting is there's a big push at the moment to do like the nurses about are trying to, instead of how are you, what matters to you. So if say you're pouched and you say you want to go swimming, that's really matters, or you want to play with your kid, or you want to stop leaks, or what matters to you guys will be different to what matters to me, to matters to Steve. And it's what matters to us in regards to our products. And there's a big push from this conference. We realize there's a big push on I'm going to write a post about it, what matters to you in all of us, because what we want out of our products. When we went to Pelican, we kind of shown that, do you remember we had that conversation saying what products, what we want out of products, and it's different. And I think they are starting to realize that people want different things out of products. Some people like the look of it rather than maybe would put up changing their bags daily because of leaks. So I think I'm quite, I said I'm a little bit lazy sometimes, that's why I like the bung with a urostomy, and I just flip it open and close it, and I'm kind of probably a little bit lazy in that respect and leave it on a bit longer than I should.
Yeah, but we all do that. I mean, over the weekend, if I'm not at the gym, I can go from Friday through till Monday having a shower and a bath and not changing my bag. The only reason,
I think as long as you don't feel the nip like of a leak or the skin starting to break down, it doesn't matter. Like Louise has just said, she can go a few days without it. Why not? Save your skin a bit from pulling the adhesive off, even with an adhesive remover.
Think about the amount of less products you're ordering as well, because you're getting things to last longer, so you're not ordering as much.
But then again, Natalie, her skin needs it to be changed every day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, her skin goes funny, and it just shows that we're all individual.
I leave it a couple of days, but by the end of the second day, I'm like, it needs changing, because my skin will be getting irritated.
Do you get really itchy on the skin, Nat?
Yeah, really bad.
And
does it get red?
It goes red, yeah. It doesn't really get sore as such. And as soon as I change the bag, it's fine. But it just doesn't cope well with me keeping it on too long.
You have to keep watching the skin. Like, I'm very grateful that my skin seems to be quite good. I always have like a red ring, like, is it the contact dermatitis? I always have that on both of them actually. But I think is know how your skin works and what works for you and different. I've been using the Coloplast cleansing wipes and they're really good. Like, they've really helped my skin.
Can I just ask the three of you out of curiosity, on the outside of the base plate, do you all have like a funny shaped ring that's pretty much on the edge of the base plate, just going to a little bit outside, that's always a bit red from where it's been sticking and pulling? And
I used to, but not with my salts bags now.
No, I did with the Danzac sometimes. No, not the Danzac. The Danzac was fine. I used to get it with the Mio. The Mio. But with the Peak Medical bag, I don't get anything like that. It's bang on.
I don't know if it's related to the convex as well, because when you use deep convex, whether that's why a ring's created, I'm not sure. I've never really asked that. But my urostomy always has a ring around it, and I've just accepted it. It's not sore and it doesn't flake off. It's just a bit of a darker. Chris, is your urostomy? Do you find that the skin is it kind of changes? It changes colour. It's like a grey blue, like around my urostomy.
I think that's the pressure from the convex or the barrier rings, because I've got it around my stoma now from where I've been using the barrier rings now for over a month. I've got just the red ring that's in the size of literally the strip of the way I've put the barrier ring around. I think it's just the extra pressure on the skin.
I always thought it was just the Mio bags, because someone told me that the hydrocolloid with some people can not react as in a bad reaction, but just a little chemical change and it changes your skin colour. That's, but not in any way a bad thing, like at all. I'm not dissing. I'm not saying it's going to make you poorly or anything. Like, that's not.
Chris has just said a really cool. I like little sayings. He said, "When you feel the itch, it's time to ditch." I like that. Which I like that. That's a good phrase. I like that.
My friend has just messaged me and he's watching the show and has told me I have to do a shout out. And he did ask for a rendition of the YMCA, but he can start off on that one. He told me he was watching, so I couldn't get away with not saying it because he can see me checking my phone. So,
what's your friend's name? Is it Daniel?
It's Daniel.
Hi, Daniel. I've heard about you through Steve.
Dan by any chance?
You are?
I was going to say, was that Dan by any chance?
It is, yes. He earned me a parking ticket today. When I went to pick him up, I got a parking fine through the post for where I parked outside the train station to pick him up on Wednesday. But it's a good job, isn't
Dan, I think you need to be paying that, mate.
it? No, bless him. No, he treated me lots on my birthday.
So
and don't forget, we've got a shout out to Arfin and the fact that he doesn't drink tea or coffee.
Doesn't drink tea or coffee.
So Arfin, if you are sitting there with whatever drink,
we're echoing really badly. Is it just me?
Yeah.
No, everyone's echoing.
Oh, I can't hear echoing.
I can hear everybody echoing. Oh.
No,
I think we're all right now.
I don't think he'll be watching it live. I think he said he was doing something at this time, but he catches up later on in the evening.
Yeah, he does. He either does his football or his tennis.
Football or tennis tonight, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, who doesn't drink tea or coffee? Although to be fair, I'm now drinking this peppermint tea and it's rather rank. And I don't know.
I love peppermint tea.
The worst person I ever dated never used to drink tea or coffee. And I used to sit there and go, really?
Maybe that's why.
I love peppermint tea.
I'm not saying you're the worst person ever to confirm on that, but I did used to date someone that never used to drink tea or coffee. The beer was their beverage of choice.
I like green tea, and I don't mind a coffee now and then, but I'd rather have pop.
See, I don't drink coffee. Can't drink the stuff. I can't stand the smell. Ben makes coffee every morning, and it wakes me up. I can smell it, and it never quite smells right to me.
Oh, see, I love cups of tea, but then I've got my Tassimo machine, so a special coffee is rather nice.
It's weird. I won't drink hot coffee, but I'll occasionally drink iced coffee.
Do any ostomates that drink coffee or a lot of coffee find that it flushes them out more? Because I remember talking to my dad about it. Not that my dad has a stoma or anything, but he always said that it's like a fallacy that coffee makes you go.
Well, I actually proved this point the other day. I had to post on a group because my bag went bright green. I'd been to Costa twice that day and had 3 coconut vanilla lattes, and I was like, is it the coffee or is it the coconut milk?
Now, what colour green? Not what colour green was it? Because
it's like dark bile green.
Okay,
pushing.
That's okay. If anybody gets bright green, slime-looking colour green, it's C. diff, and you need to go straight in. Because I've had C. diff, and it's really dangerous with a stoma. And it's been on a few groups I've had to intervene where people are saying, "Oh, it's bile." And if it's bright green, it's C. diff. And every time I try, so yeah, I just had to ask.
Is it like mint green?
No, it's like literally like, you know, like the Ghostbusters slime green, that green.
Oh right, okay.
Like,
when we're talking. The green that pops up with the like the sound level, that green. It's like,
I've got a picture. I can share it on the page to see diff awareness. If it's bright green, not dark green, but bright green, it's really serious. And I nearly died. It was really awful. Like having C. diff with an ileostomy was not good. So whenever I hear green, I'm like, what colour? Is it bright or dark?
No, it's
so sorry.
Bile. But my bag was just flushing and I felt awful.
Oh.
I really like the coconut drinks they've got there. Because
coconut is
I struggle with milk, like a lot of milk. So I like the lattes, and I can generally have one and be okay if I'm not in a flare. But if I drink too much milk, it really affects my stomach. But I find the coconut milk's a lot lighter. And doesn't make me feel sort of as bloated when I have one. But I think it was just the fact that I had 3 that day.
Well, Chris has said that coffee goes through him like a Porsche. Graham said that the coffee, he gets told off for drinking coffee. I proved a theory that coffee does in fact help with partial blockages earlier on in the week. For some unknown reason, cherry tomatoes are now off of my list as well, and that was minus the skins. I was taking the skins off, and yeah, it took coffee, 2-litre bottle of Diet Coke, and 3 hot water bottles and a couple of stamps on my stomach to pass it. So my insides still feel like they've been cheese grated this week.
We're 10 to 9. We're not even talked about life after stoma surgery. Should we do that next week?
We could do that next
This is
week.
life after stoma surgery.
This is,
you know,
it's the realities.
On Saturday, after we'd been at the coffee shop, because it was a Bruyere we were at, and we had to like taste the coffee when it was really hot and taste it when it was cooler, and do the whole stupid dip in hot water first and then like scoop it up and sip it and then spit it. I was like, ugh, like spitting, and you barely had, like, you got given a glass cup of coffee afterwards. Stephen had to finish mine because they don't have sugar or milk in these places, because it's literally all about the coffee. And I literally had a quarter of a cup, and my stomach just went bang 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 afterwards. Like, I was just like, I can't deal with this. So
well, coffee
annihilated me.
I get regular messages from Fiona to say hi, Fiona and James, if they're laid in bed watching this evening, because no doubt they probably are. But no, she likes to tell me that she sent me a picture of the fact that she's eaten half a pack of coconut, whatever that is. It maroons?
Macaroon.
Macaroons, that's the one. Coconut macaroons. Like, she sends me a picture saying, I'm eating these, and then she'll send me a picture saying that she's eaten half a pack of hot cross buns. And then she'll message me 6 hours later saying she thinks she's got blockage.
That's like Steve posting a bag of nuts again the other day, didn't he?
Oh,
yeah.
God, brave man.
He won't learn. It's Steve. He won't learn. And it's funny because Steve Stoners has just retweeted the IBD thing. So if she's watching, if you're watching Nicola, Steve's a really bad patient. He won't shave and he eats loads of nuts. But he won't learn. But yeah, no,
with coconut,
while he's not here.
Yeah, exactly.
With coconut, I just find it kind of coats the inside of my bag. It's like, and the same with poppy seeds and sesame seeds, and because, you know, I just eat all of that because it's good.
I like cashew
it's good
nuts.
for you.
I can't do nuts,
but I have to be really careful. Like, a couple of days before we went, Steve bought cashew nuts and he went, Rachel, you're allowed like 5 and chew them, because I didn't want to have blockage before.
Chew them and drink a glass of Coke at the same time.
I had overnight oats with dissected coconut in, and I thought I'd be fine because it was that really fine grated coconut.
What did you call it? Did you?
Dissected.
Dissected.
Desiccated, isn't it?
Well, whatever it is, it was hell and I shouldn't have eaten it.
Louise, you're turning into me. I'm usually the one that makes up words. Yes, it wasn't me.
Was I turning red?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Yeah, no, coconut's evil. Apparently, I'm finding a lot of food groups evil. I think I've had 6 blockages in the last month.
I find that when you're flaring, though, you're just more sensitive to everything anyway, aren't you?
Omelettes, turkey, and low residue at the moment is pretty much what I'm living off of.
Well, I had a massive load of pasta earlier, and my stomach, I literally look like I'm pregnant. I'm so bloated. And I'm not really sure this peppermint tea is helping, but we'll see.
Peppermint capsules you can get from either like Holland & Barrett or your doctor. I used to get them for bloating and gas. And then I kind of realised it wasn't going to do anything when I was drinking like 2 litres of pop a day. Which is pretty excessive for someone that's got a stoma.
Yeah,
but, it's my addiction.
Down on my pop because I've noticed mine comes out at night time. I'll lay down and my bag will just inflate and inflate and inflate all night long, and I just can't. I don't not allow myself though. Like if I go out to the pub or something, I'll drink Coke, and on my birthday I was drinking alcohol, but just day to day now I try and steer away from it.
Well, if you're worried about odour and like gas and stuff, the peppermint capsules are fantastic for that.
Yeah, actually, my mum's got some because she was having some trouble with her stomach. She's not taking them now, so she did say I could have them, but I haven't picked them up yet.
They
You know what I
honestly,
thought
they
today?
work really well for if you, especially when you've just had a stoma or you're going in for a stoma. You want to get some.
Yeah, because
it
bloating
really
after
helps.
surgery is really bad and it's hard to get rid of, isn't it?
Do you know what I've been What I've been onto is Good Health. Jenna did a post about it ages ago. Good Health. I think it's Good Health. They do these like vitamin sprays, and I've had like multivitamin, turmeric, vitamin D. Oh yeah, them ones, Natalie. They're really good.
I've got this
Better
one.
You, not Good Health. Better
You. This is a new one that's not out yet. I'm getting to try it. Wow. It's the iron one. So I got it today. They sent it me today, and tomorrow morning I'm getting up-to-date blood results and starting it tomorrow. So hopefully I can see whether it makes me feel any better. But because I am chronically anemic, so I'm always anemic anyway, and have to have infusions because I can't tolerate oral iron. But I'm been super fatigued lately. My anemia is sort of going down, but it's not quite low enough for them to do the infusion yet. So I'm going to give this a go and see if it works.
When that comes out, I can't wait to get that one.
But yeah, I'm really
the others are brilliant.
See if it helps. But like I say, I'm going to go for a blood test tomorrow to check to see results wise if it makes a difference as well. And the fact that I'm due a blood test anyway. But and then I think this has got about 2 weeks worth or just over 2 weeks worth. It says to do 4 sprays a day. There's 48 sprays. So it's like 12 days.
Are they usually expensive then? I know that you said that's not out yet, but
the other ones are about, I think they're about £10 or £12. The turmeric one's about £17. But
it depends.
Multivitamins is about, I think that the Better You is about, it's about around then. But I found it because I don't know if this is related, but I haven't been in for sepsis, touch wood, for like 5 months, which is really good, like for me, considering last year. So I don't know if it's down to that, but
it's a different way. It's all taken with products that you absorb through your skin.
Yeah.
They avoid your digestive system. I've got some upstairs. Do you know, like you put Epsom salts in your bath? I've got the magnesium flakes.
Yeah, me.
So they work in a similar way, and you can and it's supposed to, because you're soaking it in through your skin, you're supposed to absorb it better, especially when you've got things like Crohn's that can make you have malabsorption anyway. That's from these as well. I mean, they aren't cheap. They're like any health foodie thing. But I think if they work well, then for me, I would be preferring to put this in my body for a bit of a boost, you know.
I feel like I bankroll Holland and Barrett and my protein once a month, because I use, the women's vitamins, the women's health vitamins. I use those, but like you say, because of the malabsorption issues, I then get the omega-3 from my protein because it's cheaper than getting it from Holland and Barrett. Have you seen how expensive omega-3 tablets are? Like, I think from my protein, I think I get 90, and I take 4 of those a day, so they last me 1 or 2 months. And it's only £8, whereas Holland and Barrett's omega-3s can be up to 15 quid a pop for like 30 capsules.
I think the test goes on
with different.
I don't absorb the
multivitamins and like use of
turmeric.
Hi, Steve.
Oh, he's back.
Hello. Managed to get the last 6 minutes. Yeah.
I find that the tablets come out whole in my bag. Like, so I because of the short bowel and it going through really quickly. That's why I tried them, because when Jenna put it up a while ago, I was like, oh, I'll try this, because you just spray it in your mouth, and I hate drinking and of tablets like Steve. I swallow tablets like I do this. I'm terrible, especially if they're big.
If you want to laugh, give us some antibiotics, the big round oval ones. Oh my God, you'll be in hysterics. It's hilarious.
Oh, I hate round tablets though.
Oh, they're awful. I do this.
Switch them round in the mouth for about 10 minutes. You're talking to her, you're asking her questions, and she's going.
And you get the horrible taste. I'm not good at swallowing big tablets.
What he does is he has to have some liquid in his mouth first, and then he puts the tablet in, and then he swallows. And I'm looking at him like I can knock back like 15 in one go. What are you doing? He has to do it like one by one, and I'm sat there looking at him like,
Oh no!
God, you couldn't cope being sick.
So this is a
I
totally
could put them all in together.
Yeah.
We'll wash them all down in one go.
so this is a totally
Especially
random
if
one
they're
to
steroids.
ask. Totally random one to ask you guys. Can you control the continence through your ileostomy by diet?
Can you control?
Yeah.
Oh, what a question! Stop
Ileostomy?
eating. What question?
You stop
If
eating.
Nah.
I eat
Sort of control
roast
it.
potatoes, I can guarantee if I don't chew it properly, which is stupid because roast potatoes are just mush inside, I will pancake beyond belief the next day. So if I'm just chucking out water, I will have roast potatoes, and just like drink a lot with it, and that's the only way that I can like even it out. But other than that, no.
Because my argument is, well, not an argument, but I think you can control it by diet, but drugs help. You know, there's a reason why they give you with an ileostomy, why you've got the things like the Modium and the other bits and pieces that they give you to help and control and stem the output. But do you think you can completely control it by diet?
No,
I don't know if you can.
No, because if you don't eat, I find that mine is really active, even if I don't
then
eat.
you end up your fluids push through, and you
Yeah, exactly.
Then.
So I know that was
you can help manage, but you can't control it.
That's a good answer.
because it's a weird one. Because
I used to have boxing. I used to have 3 hours before boxing. I wouldn't eat.
See, we can't hear you. You were like a robot.
3 hours before boxing, I wouldn't eat, and I'd be flying through the boxing like, oh no. Stop looking at me. Oh dear me. Someone else talk then now. Hot in here, isn't it?
Well, please don't take off all your clothes.
Oh no, I'm in a car park. That's not going to look good, you know.
Can I say something? I've really missed the show. It's been really nice tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah. Steve has to bring it down to
Steve, I'm gonna tattletale on your girlfriend. She told you Stoma nurse while we were on the show how much of a bad patient you are.
No, I'm a really good patient. My Stoma nurse is superb.
She shared the show on Twitter. So I said, because I just seen it, and I said that because they were talking about nuts at the same time, so I combined it that you like eating.
Yeah, because you're a bugger with nuts. You're worse than I am.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Thing is, no, I'm good with bean sprouts now. I leave them alone. That was horrible. At least with nuts, I know how to get rid of them. Bean sprouts. Nah, bean sprouts, they're long, isn't they?
Shouldn't come out of your mouth. That phrase.
I think it's worse that we're all laughing at it. I think, to be fair, rather than it coming out of Steve's mouth. Like,
I don't care. I don't care no more. I've lost all my inhibitions now. It's all gone. You know what I mean?
Oh dear Lord. Oh, that's a funny one. So continence with the ileostomy, considering some people have slow transit and others have fast transit and some people are in the middle. I don't think you can completely control it by diet.
If you don't eat ever again, yeah? Absolutely, you can control it because you'll probably die. and no output at all ever. So yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, if you think about it, like TPN, like Steve can answer this. When I was on TPN the many times with the stoma, like I still had output, and that goes through the vein. So is that classed as food and controlling it? It's a very interesting question because I think there's lots of sections to it.
TPN does still make your stoma active, and to be honest, it makes it a bit more overactive than underactive, to be fair.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, Steve's is overactive and basically normally pure water. He has to take like umpteen Imodium before he can take his tablets and stuff, just to try, and he's obviously got short bowel as well, and he's on TPN.
When I had the TPN, I was emptying about 4 or 5 litres a day, because because I just had the C. diff. After the C. diff had cleared, I'm not allowed to take Imodium. I've been told, and on my notes, I'm not allowed to take Imodium because of the C. diff, and it can sometimes stay in your stomach dormant. So I'm not allowed to take it. So I just found that I had my output was, and then it eventually slowed down. When I came off the TPN, it was less. But it's quite interesting. That question's quite interesting.
I went as well when I went to see the surgeon last year, when we were discussing about reversal. My doctor was pretty what's it with me. She was quite happy with my decision that I was pretty sure I wanted to keep the stoma, but she sent me to the surgeon just so I could sort of get the bigger picture, and he was happy not to put me open again, at least for the time being, until he needs to remove the rest of my large bowel. But he actually said to me, he's like, why aren't you taking Imodium? And he said there's no obviously apart from what Rachel's just said, she's going to advise not to take it, but there's no contraindications with Imodium. So you use it to control your, like I was talking mainly because at night time my bag was quite active, and he was like, well, just take Imodium before you go to bed and see if that helps, or sort out a time, maybe it's before your dinner that you need to take it to slow your bag down at that time or whatever. And yeah, he was just like, just use it. He said, if you're going out for the night, he's like, just take some Imodium. And it's quite just to control it.
Oh, it's an awkward silence.
It worked for you, Nat, didn't it?
It's definitely helped me at night time. That and reducing the fizzy pop for the air blowing up of the bag has definitely helped mine.
I've got to go now, so I really got to go.
All right then, Steve. Bye,
So,
lovely.
Bye-bye.
Speak to you
Bye,
soon.
love.
Do you know what?
See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
You look like a 1920s bodybuilder.
I'm driving now, so it's illegal. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Well, we're after 9 o'clock now anyway.
We are
Sophie's
indeed.
got to go to the pub.
I want to go to the pub. I've been literally clock watching now for the last like 5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll say goodbye for this evening. Next week. I think there's 3 of us next week.
Steve and I aren't here next week because we're in Copenhagen again, so we're not here.
That's right. Okay,
We'll wing it.
We'll wing next week. We'll wing next week because I haven't come up with a plan yet. I do know for some of May that we're going to go to more Crohn's and ulcerative colitis based, because the 18th of May, I believe, is World IBD Day. So we'll be going through a few bits and pieces of that, as well as the Stoma chat, but we'll be concentrating more on Crohn's and UC as a whole. Just for things like drugs and how to deal with flare-ups and that sort of thing. So we'll be back again next Thursday. Thursday, I think we'll do Crohn's and UC and reasons as to why we had the surgery with the bags because of the Crohn's and the UC. And I think we'll go from there. How does that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Stephanie wants to get to the pub. So I will say thank you, everyone, for tuning in this evening. I know we've been off air for the last 2 weeks. Hopefully service will now resume as normal, dependent on our work schedules, because all of us are busy little beavers. And thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week. And
Bye.
bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.